The world of Kagurabachi is full of criminal organizations, from small groups of criminals who deal in petty crime to big-time organizations who have their roots planted in every corner of the world. But the criminal we're looking at today is Genshi Sojo. Sojo is a weapons dealer with a genius-level intelligence. He created Dentenseiki pieces that could boost the power of whoever used them, and was a wielder of one of the 7 enchanted blades known as Cloud Gouger. Now, Sojo had several fights during his run in Kagurabachi, and my personal favorite of these fights was Sojo versus the anti-Cloud Gouger force, where Sojo was brought to death's door. However, he was able to awaken and break through, quite literally. But what if we were to switch his opponents into a counter? Well, how would Sojo fare against the Tau, the elite force of the Sazanami clan, who have also fought sword bearers? Well, let's break down their powers and abilities first. Sojo is a character with nearly no weaknesses. He was a top tier in speed, blitzing characters who were said to be the strongest in their respective groups, not to mention keeping up and surpassing an Ishiki boosted Chihiro. And in strength, he's no joke either. He kicked around Kaminami elites and knocked Chihiro through several buildings in their first encounter. He's got stamina and endurance to boost, considering he fought several back-to-back fights against top-tier opponents and could keep up at his max output the entire time. But what about his sword's abilities? Well, the blade gives him 3 different abilities. The first is Kyo, which summons large amounts of water that flood the area around him or can be turned into a mist to conceal his location. The second ability is Yue. This allows Sojo to summon ice to freeze the area around him or stop incoming attacks. Then lastly, Mei, which has the most amount of uses. He can summon it as a bolt of lightning, or use it to recall his blade to him. And lastly, he can use it to cloak himself, to give himself a similar speed boost to Nishiki. So what does the Tau have to counter this? Well, they all share the same sorcery called ISO, which creates a push of force using the sorcerer's hands. It can be used at various levels, like crushing buildings, or even making the wielder fly around and fire off weapons at rapid speeds. Now, how do each of the members rank in strength? Well, first up, we have Tamaki. You can think of her as the Jimmy Butler. She's not the best, but she always does what she's supposed to in her fights. She's never the weak point in any moment. She's always there to show why she's a member of the Tau, no matter what. And then we have Tenri. Now, Tenri's special because he's the youngest member of the Tau ever and is a well-known prodigy. But when he is truly at his most powerful is when he uses Dentenseiki to boost his stats. At that point, he starts being able to keep up with top tiers in the verse. So he is easily the ace of the group, the Steph Curry if you will. But going from the Steph Curry, we come to the Tony Snell of the Tau. I love Enji. He has an amazing design and I hope what is set up with his character pays off. But I mean this from the bottom of my heart, he is trash. Every single fight this guy is in, he gets knocked out. Against Chihiro, knocked out. Shiba round 1, knocked out. Shiba round 2, knocked out. And finally, Shiba round 3, knocked out. Now the final member, Soya, is a bit harder to put a point on. He's a very emotional dependent fighter, because sometimes he can keep up with Shiba, and other times he's getting his ass beat by Hakuri. He's said to be the strongest of all the Tau, at least until Tenri uses Dentenseiki to power up. But besides his emotional state, he definitely has the power to be number 1, but not the mentality to do so. So what does this mean? Can they pull through and take down the enchanted blade wielder? Well, the answer is probably not. See, they definitely have the power, at least more than the anti-Cloud Gouger force, but they lack the one thing that let the force have the edge over Sojo in the first part of the fight. They absolutely suck at working together. Now, if they want to defeat Sojo, they need Soya, but Soya is the worst team player ever. He follows his own interests and nothing else, charging towards what he wants and not what the group needs. So if they have to deal with Soya constantly charging in headfirst into the fight, and Tenri having to come in and save him, it will only be a matter of time until Tenri's body can't take the power from the Dentenseiki anymore and his body explodes from the extra energy flowing through him. And after that, Soya will just start picking them off one by one. Now, I don't want to say Soya is the only reason they lose. Even in some magical universe where Soya is a perfect team player and fights with the rest of the Tau in perfect harmony, they still have to find a way to beat Sojo before the timer on Tenri goes out. And they don't really have the power that can take him out. With the anti-Cloud Gouger force, their strongest suit is that they're all different. And with the Tau, they don't have some sort of ace move to take out Soya. like the Force did with Kagura to take down Sojo. But the Tao only has Tenri, someone who can only really stall Sojo, and doesn't have a move that can flat out take him down. So with everything said, I give it to Sojo. Hope you're smiling in hell, you sick bastard. Hi everyone, hope you enjoyed this video. I had a lot of trouble deciding the victor in the end, so let me know what you guys think would happen in the comments. Like always, leave a like, subscribe, and follow my Twitter for video updates. And I'll see you all next time.